the heartbeat of the earth. The hands that give life its worth. With every step, they break new ground. Harvesting hope from all around. Through every season, through highs and lows. The untold journey, the heroes grow. Harvest heroes, rising strong. Building tomorrow all day long.
Hello, guys. Welcome to episode 20 of Harvest Hero Podcast. Oh my God, I can't believe we are episode 20 already. Thank you so much for our faithful listeners. Thank you. Thank you for those that are giving us their feedback about the episode. It's a real pleasure to have you. You're just so special. And today we are already in December, guys. Happy preparation for Christmas. Christmas, I think, is next week or the week after next, something like that. So happy preparation with all the joy of Christmas and New Year. And without wasting time, today we have a very special guest. He's a country coordinator of Agricodeexpo Zambia, and we have a pleasure to have him. Welcome on board, Mr. John.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So without wasting time, we are going to go into our question and answer session of this interview. So, but we'll start by, can you please just present yourself to our viewers?
My name is John Kakandelwa. I'm the country coordinator for Harvest Heroes in Zambia, and I'm also the founder of Powering Young Initiatives, a non-government organization that is taking care of young people, the youth, and the children.
Wow, amazing. I think I met you actually through your NGOs and the work you're doing in Zambia, which is just so lovely. So what inspired you to I want to know what inspired you to open that NGO?
What inspired me was finding a solution for challenges that a lot of young people faced in my community. I first identified myself as I wanted to do something that people remember me of in the community. Then I identified that there are quite a lot of young people who are talented, and they have skills, they have knowledge, they have vision, but they don't really know how to go about it. So that inspired me to to come up with Powering Young Initiatives. The idea is to connect young people to opportunities, to platforms that can build their vision, and also to links that can actually grow their vision in their respective communities where they stay. So that's what we are doing as Powering Young Initiatives. Even we know that it's quite difficult for young people like here in Zambia to just walk in the public office or government office to ask for something or to ask for help. So as Powering Young Initiatives, we help young people by linking them to opportunities, by helping them push their vision, see their dreams come true. And so far, we've done quite a lot, and we connected quite a lot of young people, and they are doing a lot of good job out there.
I know that. Like, I definitely had a view of what the amazing work you're doing in Zambia when we
Yeah.
talked, and I was like, wow, so impressed and so amazed by what you're doing. And I know our viewers, if you will have time to go to the link I'll put in the description to visit the amazing work you're doing out there, which is just so amazing. So, can you share a moment in your career that felt like it was a turning point, that moment that made you decide, okay, you know what, I want to be an impact for my community instead of just I want to be known for something? That is what you said. I remember you said it earlier.
Yes. So the turning point for my idea, or what really made me move on, it was when I first did an attempt to apply for an opportunity which was in Russia, and I remember I was picked. Unfortunately, I couldn't make it because at that time I didn't have a passport. But the second time, I also applied for a friend, for a youth who who is still in the organization even right now. And that youth, actually, I managed to process everything for her, visa at the Russian embassy, and she even traveled to Russia. From there, things opened up. I started receiving some invitation for young people to represent my organization in Poland at the World Urban Forum in Katowice. I remember I sent a young person there. At some point, I also represented Zambia as the country contact point for COI 17 during the when we were doing the preparation for the COP. That was COP, should be COP 27.
Mhm.
Yes, yeah, COP 27. So I was also a country contact point where I facilitated visa support letters for young people traveling to Egypt, from Zambia to Egypt. And I've done quite a lot. And recently, there's a lot of young people that actually also went to Ghana. We facilitated that. Apart of just that, I also pioneered a number of organizations in Zambia, and they're doing quite great, especially movements like Africans Rising. I'm actually uh, one of the first persons, actually. Let me just say I'm the first person actually started doing some African liberation activities in the Livingstone and African Rising. They used to send me some money, then I do some activities. I meet community people. I talk to them about African liberation and the importance of that day. So we've done quite a lot, and we've linked a lot of young people to some opportunities. And I'm happy that they are doing great. And some of them I don't even know them. I don't even know. I've never met some of them.
That is the power of it all, where you can actually help somebody you have never met, and but you
Yes,
keep doing and working together. It's just so amazing,
yes,
right?
yes, yeah, sure. Yeah.
And our next question is, I know doing all these things, you definitely face some challenges doing all these things, but how do you overcome those challenges?
Challenges are there, especially to do with finances. You find that sometimes when you are working, you're trying to do something, and it requires some money, and you find that sometimes you are stuck. But I have my own ways on how I do things. I think I've done a lot of work without funding, or without good funding, without proper funding. Most of the work that I've done, sometimes I could use even my personal money just to make sure that things are done. Sometimes you could just organize a meeting and tell people the importance of that meeting, and we don't delay them to the time whereby maybe they would need some food or anything. But we'll prepare some meetings in a way that they will come for the meeting that they have already eaten from their homes. So when they are coming for a meeting, it will be just meeting specifically. We are not providing any food or anything, and that
It's
has
very
been that has
smart.
that has really worked for us, and we've achieved quite a lot. In Livingston, we've done a lot. We've removed snares in the national park without support, without funding. We just collaborate with other organizations. Then we go in the national park, we remove snares, we protect animals. We've picked plastic in towns and in cities. That's what we do.
Amazing. And the work you do is
Yeah.
just so amazing. You're just
Yeah.
such an inspiration to the youth in general and even to the adults. You are just an inspiration. So our next
Thank
question is, what is a project or accomplishment you are mostly proud of and why?
There are quite a lot
I know.
accomplishments, but I can mention one. The one that I won an award. Actually, I won two awards from Commonwealth Foundation and also from Commonwealth of Massachusetts. It's a lifetime achievement award. It comes from the House of the Representatives. Then
Wow,
I won, yes,
congratulations.
yes, I also won the Commonwealth Award on climate change. Actually, I showed uh, the Commonwealth Foundation about the effects of climate change in Zambia and how it has affected the community of people living in Western Province of Zambia. I got some pictures of disasters that happened. Then we competed. We were quite a lot of us, and that made me really proud. And recently, I also participated in a competition because we are also doing eco-inclusive enterprise development, where I came out. I was one among the top 20 from
Wow.
that competition was held by the University of should be University of West London, somewhere something like that.
Mhm.
So I've done a lot and I've participated in the competition by WWF and MTN Foundation, where I was among the top 10 in the country out of about 700 applications, and I was among the top 10 of the people that participated last year, and that really helped me to gain a lot of knowledge on how I can help young people to set up small businesses to sustain themselves and their families. So
You're such an
that
inspiration, and I
yes,
say it all the
yes,
time. Keep
yeah,
keep talking. Just just say it.
yes. So that's what that is what is really encouraging me, and because whenever I try to do something, it works, and sometimes I can apply for something, then the response would be like, "No, we regret to inform you that we cannot pick you this time around." And for me, I like a lot of no's because if people say no, it shows me that I still need to work on something to just improve. So
Exactly.
I'm not worried if somebody tells me no. I say, okay, I need to work on something that I can improve
Wow,
because
that's just so
yeah, sure,
amazing.
sure.
You're just amazing. You're just so amazing. So our next question we have is, who has been like a mentor or a significant influence in your career, and how did they shape your journey in general?
Uh, you're saying something like a mentor or something like that?
Yes, like who has been like a mentor or a significant influence in your career?
Oh yes. I have two people that
Mm.
really influenced my career. One of them is Brian Kayongo. Is my childhood friend. He's actually the one who has been reminding me to say, I'm not teaching you what to do, but I'm just reminding you that you can do it because the same
Wow.
skill that I have is the same skill that you have that I've acquired. So Brian Kayongo is the vice president for health learners in Zambia, and is coordinating the whole country in Zambia. He's done a lot of great work for the country, and is still doing a lot of great work. That is really my inspiration, and this person is a childhood friend of mine. And the second person is Madam Chishala Kateka. She's also the president for Heritage Party in Zambia. She's also been there for me. She's my mentor. She mentors me each time I meet her. Whenever she talks to me, I'll, 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 I'll I'll feel encouraged and very motivated, and I'll gain that fighting spirit to actually save the country because she has openly told me that you need to save your country. At some point, you're going to take up the leadership. So your role right now is to my role right now as your mother is to prepare you to take up leadership positions because at some point you are the ones that are going to save this country. So those are my
Wow.
two inspirations that I have.
Wow,
Yes.
that's just so amazing for her empowering you right now so that you should be ready when the time comes. Is
Yeah.
we rarely find treasures like this around the world. People that really believe in you that much. So our next question we have is, if there is one thing you could change in the industry or in your field, what would that be?
One thing, if I had power, to change. One thing is to actually change the attitude of people on how they. I'm worried about climate change because the seasons, like here in Zambia, last year we had a lot of drought, and that really affected us in terms of food, in terms of everything, in terms of electricity. If I had the power actually to change one thing, I could say we should find an alternative way of energy because people cut trees, and the reason why they are cutting these trees is because when they make charcoal, the market is already there. So there are people who buy charcoal. So if you can find an alternative way to replace charcoal so that we could preserve the trees, I think that can really work for me. I think that has been my thinking all the time, that how do we find an alternative source of energy instead of cutting trees, because the drought is actually increasing, and the rainfall pattern is actually changing, and that is resulting into people having experiencing hunger, and people complain, and when there's too much hunger, others don't even know that what is causing this drought is what. So if I had that power to change things, I think I could change that kind of attitude to just let people know that this is what is causing the drought that we have in the country.
I think that is a perfect idea. You can start a podcast like mine and sensitize people on that, telling them that okay, when you're using charcoal, this is the effect. This is exactly what it's doing to you and to the market, and this is it. Like sensitizing people like that can help them know what is actually going on. I think a lot of people don't even know what is going on in the country as a
Yes,
whole.
yes. No, the problem is that the people who cut charcoal, most of them, they're not even on social media, they're not even on internet. So if you have to reach them, you have to reach them physically, actually go to them and sensitize them, maybe organize community headmen, chiefs, bring them together, and then discuss and find a solution to these effects of climate change. So most charcoal burners here in Zambia, they don't use Facebook, and or even they are not even on internet.
I think
They are very few.
since the sellers are not on the internet, why not address the buyers? Because if the quantity of if the buyers decreases, the number of buyers decreases, the sellers will
Yeah,
say there's a problem, and that can
yeah.
change and orientate them to do something else. So I was thinking of addressing the buyers
The
instead.
buyers, yes, we can address the buyers because the buyers are there. The working
Yes.
class are buying charcoal as an alternative source of energy in their households. I think the buyers, yes, we can address the buyers to actually uh, get this message about the effects of climate change. I think that's a good idea.
Yes, we can definitely work on that, like addressing them using social media, something we already have access to, like doing a
Yes,
podcast just about the importance of like the effect of charcoal uses. Just have podcasts like this where you come maybe once a week and talk about it to other people. And I think a lot of people want to know more because a lot of people don't know how bad it is to use charcoal
yeah.
and the effect it has on the planet. So I think that would be definitely be a good idea, and we can definitely talk about it. But my question for you is, what does success looks like to you? How do you define success for you in the role you're
Um,
doing right now?
yeah, right now I feel like I've not yet actually achieved what I want. Yes,
Like, what
I've
is
not.
success for
So,
you?
yeah, for me, success is actually seeing everything going in a way that I planned, seeing everything coming to fulfillment, and achieving my objectives, achieving my plans, doing things as planned, I think for me that is success. For example, if I plan to say by maybe 5 years from now, this is what I need to see in my community, and uh, people now they have now boreholes. 5 years ago they didn't have boreholes. Now they have boreholes. For me, that is success. 5 years
Wow.
ago they were using charcoal. Now they have found another alternative source of energy. For me, that is what I can call success.
Wow, I love the way you define it. Is the achievement of every objective you put yourself. That is
Yes.
so well defined and well said. And our next question is, what is the most surprising things you have learned from your field or from your work? Something you didn't know before, then you learned while being on the field.
Yes. Something I didn't know before it was when I was starting. For example, when I started powering young initiatives, when I'm home, maybe when I'm in town, I could hear that no, there was a meeting about climate change at maybe at Royal Sun Hotel. And me also, I'm also in the line of climate change. I was getting worried that, but why am I not there? Yeah, because this meeting is in line with what I'm doing. So I was almost getting discouraged to say, but am I doing the right thing? But one day, one of my friends failed to come for a meeting. Then he requested me to represent him in a climate change meeting. Then I went there. I made sure that I carried something that was going to send a message to the people in the meeting. And luckily, I was told to carry another person. So we all put in t-shirts talking about our organization. That's where one man told me to say, no, it's a nice organization, but all you need to do, just wait when it matures. Once it matures, then then it is going to flourish. Yes, truthfully, now actually I check a lot of emails. I receive a lot of emails from a lot of different organizations. I no longer need to actually maybe write to request anything. I don't do a lot. I don't do a lot of work on requesting to partner or to do what. But this time around, I just receive emails, even from organizations that I've never met before. You just receive an email and you ask them, "How did you find us?" Say, "No, we find you through internet. So your
Mhm.
work, and that's why we're interested actually to work with you." So that
Wow.
really surprised me, and that really encouraged me somehow. Yes.
I told you you are amazing, and I knew definitely that you are really, really, really amazing. You do just so much, and that is so inspiring. So, our next question is, what advice can you give to someone that wants to follow your footsteps?
Um, First, as a person, you need to think of something that people will remember you of.
Wow.
Then you have to identify yourself as a person who is unique. You know, in the African countries, most of the things that we use, we don't make them. And one of my work right now is to encourage young people to come up with their own products that they are going to be identified of, to say that this product belongs to this person. I think that is the kind of mindset that I really want to encourage young people to start thinking about. Because if you check here in Africa, even in our household, even in our homes, there is nothing that we can really point at to say this is made from Africa. Most of the things are made coming from way very far, shipped, imported into your country, and we just buy. So if we encourage young people to actually create their own services, their own products, that is really going to help actually improve the wealth of Africa, even create more employment, and people are going to depend on their own. They are really not going to depend on borrowing money, borrowing funding from other countries on everything. Because Africa has got its own resources. We have got a lot of fruits that actually go to waste and without being used every year in the forest. We have got a lot of natural resources. So I really want to encourage young people to actually think outside the box. Uh, Young people should not think about completing school and getting employed. For me, I want young people to complete school and think about the product they can create, bring a product on the market. But
Wow.
people can buy your product, people can access your services. In that way, we are going to improve our countries and our Africa, and eventually, I think uh, that can really sustain us in terms of income and livelihood.
Wow, that's just so amazing. So we have our very last question for you. You're just an inspiration to the nation. They're really, really you're just so inspiring. So this question is how did the work you did or the work you're doing shape your view of life?
Yeah, um, it really changed the view of my life because I was coming from the very low background in my life, and what really used to encourage me was that okay, I want to suffer first, then have a good life later. And I used to say, okay, whatever I'm going through, but one day I'm going to be okay. And that is really something that has changed the way I see myself now. And when people actually respect me in some meetings, they call me director. Sometimes I don't even feel that I deserve to be called like that because uh, I still feel that I'm also just a common person in the community who's just there to offer services. Yes, I think that's what I can say.
I definitely agree with you on that because I feel same. Like when somebody say, "Oh, see you," I was like, actually, I still have a lot of work to do. Like the more you talk about, the more you call me that name, the more I'm like, "Oh, there's so much to do," and I don't think
Yes,
at that level, like this is definitely a lot to do. So
yes,
thank you so
yes.
much for sharing and for being sincere because definitely we definitely have that thought in our heads in like
Yes,
the title give you more responsibility and you're like, okay,
yes,
that means I have to do more. That means I need to do more. That means more is
yes,
requested from me. So I definitely thank you for sharing. So is there anything you
yes.
want to, we are coming to the end of this episode. Is there anything you want to add for
Yes, you
listeners?
know, sometimes people could come to you and they say no. When they hear that you're director, people would come to you to say no. If you have job opportunities, do you have any? Do you have any opening so that we can help your brother, help your sister? No, you see, when you actually know that it actually takes a lot of work for you to organize, even to employ quite a lot of people. And you know that these people are asking me to actually employ their children, employ the young people. You know that inside your heart that you don't have funding that can sustain them. So for me, I believe that the best support that I can give someone is the support that can save them even in my absence. So I believe in
Wow.
giving skills to say that okay, get this skill. No one will get this skill from you. It is going to be with you forever, and this skill is going to help you up to the end. That's what I've done to actually a number of young people, and some of them they're not even in Zambia. I've given up my own opportunity to say, okay, no, this is your opportunity. You are moving. We want you to go and stay in this country. So we found a house. I've given out opportunities to young people to say, okay, I'm giving you this opportunity of mine. Make sure you take care, make sure you impress this person. I've sent a lot of young people abroad, and that is really makes me happy. And they are okay and they're doing great.
As I said, you are really an inspiration to the whole world. Like, really. And guys, if you want to have more details about the wonderful work Mr. John does in Zambia, I'll leave all the details in the description. Make sure you get in contact with him. And thank you so much for being with us. It was just such a pleasure to have you. You're just such a nice and special guest. It's just so easy to
Thank
interview
you.
you. Thank you so much for joining. So, guys, we
Thank
come
you.
to the end of this episode. Thank you for listening to us. Thank you for sharing, and thank you for your comment. Please don't forget to like, share, and comment, and don't forget to get in contact with Mr. John for amazing projects. You want to work with him and collaborate, because collaboration is the key, guy. Thank you so much, and thank you for listening, and happy December, and have a good day, guys. Goodbye.
They are the heartbeat of the earth, the hands that give life its